Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shofar Girl, and this is my shofar. I'm going to do this video to go on about what I've learned and come to an understanding about the differences between isolation and being in waiting. And I've been in isolation for a very long time, so I can understand it a little more than the in waiting. And so this is why I say I wanted to share what I've learned about the differences between the two. Now, isolation is where you are basically, best way to explain it is God has basically put you in a cocoon, and he is trying to get you to, like, he's schooling you, okay, to one, focus more on him than those around you. Also to teach you what you think is what you speak, and then you end up doing. So it all depends on what you're feeding your spirit. He's also teaching you about spending more time with him and having him first. And some of the other things is to rely more on him than yourself and those around you. Because he can do everything, and being on this earth, you are limited on what you are actually capable of. And he's trying to teach you to rely on him and teach you about stuff that you're going to end up using when you get into your purpose. And so this is why I'm sharing this, because I think some people are confused by this isolation, as in, what's the point of it? It's kind of like what happens when a caterpillar goes into a cocoon. It's a type of transformation that you're going through. And the more you start actually paying attention to what's happening and what's going on, and focusing more on God, and dealing with your thoughts, dealing with what you put in your body, as in your ears, as in what you listen to, what you see. Your mouth is very powerful, so you also need to be very careful about what you say, because all this is in the Bible, and that's why I say, read your Bible, it's all in there. So, knowing that isolation can be very difficult, especially when you are used to being in the world, you are used to being around people. And this is what I'm saying, it's like he puts you in a cocoon, he puts an invisibility cloak on you, and you can try and talk to people, but it's like they really don't see you. There's times that this has happened to me, as well as there are times where I'm in a group of people, but nobody sees me. They're all talking to each other, this person to this person, and they're moving around, but nobody sees me. I'm invisible, and nobody talks to me. I try to talk, and nobody sees me. Nobody hears me. And this is a type of isolation, okay? As well as the other parts of isolation are how much effort yourself are you going to put into what you need to do, as in what he's trying to teach you and what he's trying to show you. As in, how much are you going to fight against it, or work with it? As in, continually going out and trying to make friends, continually going out and trying to get people to see you, when that's not going to help, okay? The other parts of isolation are, it's possible he'll take everything and everyone away from you. Don't see this as a punishment. Don't see this as in... Another way I can put it is, there's a reason for anything and everything that ever happens to you in your entire life, at any given time. And there might be some things that you're still not understanding about what happened in your life, and God will share that with you. he'll show it to you in the way it happened, but give you a different understanding of why it happened. Okay? So it got to the point of where I reached, like with my first video, I was just coming out of isolation. And this is something I was understanding because of the fact of, this is why I'm sharing this, for the understanding of, I started my waiting period in my isolation. And then when I got out of isolation, people were talking to me. People were helping me. People were seeing me. But I was in a waiting period. And here's the difference between waiting period. You're still being schooled, but people are seeing you. People are talking to you. Compared to what it was in isolation, where you were completely invisible. And it's just like when a butterfly first comes out of its cocoon, okay? Now, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen to you when you come out of isolation. You're going to go straight into waiting. No. That's not what I'm saying. With some people, it can be they're going straight into their purpose. With some people, it could be they're still dealing with their schooling and then go into their purpose. Schooling isn't a continuous thing. It's an ongoing thing. Never stops. So, but like I was saying, when a butterfly first comes out of a cocoon, it's got to wait for its wings to dry before it can fly. So think about your waiting period, especially, this is kind of how I'm seeing it, as in, you're coming out of your cocoon. You got to let your wings dry. You got to wait. You can't fly if your wings are wet. Okay? That's why butterflies have to let their wings dry and unfold before they can fly. So this is how I'm seeing it because of what I'm going through. So I'm seeing it as in my waiting period right now. I'm now out of isolation. I'm letting my wings dry. I'm still being schooled. I'm still learning about certain stuff. So I share this to help those in isolation and maybe in their waiting period, as in, I've struggled with this because of the fact that until God showed me the butterfly, the cocoon, letting the wings dry, okay, because of the fact that I went from isolation to isolation and waiting, and then from being out of isolation into just waiting. And I seem to have struggled more with the waiting part than I had the isolation, because I had dealt with it for so many years. And the reason why I say this is because of the fact that you're out of isolation and people are talking to you, but you're waiting. You want to go do stuff, but God says you need to wait. So my wings are still drying. I'm still in my waiting. So it affects everybody differently. So don't think of your isolation as punishment. Think of it as being put in a cocoon for your teaching, for your transformation, for understanding on reading what you feed your spirit, what you feed your ears, what you feed your eyes, what you feed your brain, and what you speak. Like, this is some of the stuff that he's trying to teach you. And so all of this isn't going to happen overnight, okay? It's going to be a process, just like with waiting. It's a process. Because if I remember correctly, sometimes it can take up to 2 hours for a butterfly's wings to dry. Now, that's for a butterfly, okay? We're humans, okay? Everybody's different, so sometimes people's wings are going to take longer to dry, and others are not. So it varies, okay? Everybody's unique, so what you're going through and what you're dealing with and how you process it is going to be different as well. Now, I'm not saying there can't be similarities to what you're going through compared to what somebody else is going through, okay? And why I say there's possibility of similarities is because of the fact that there could be some people out there that have dealt with the same thing as you, and they're already past it, okay? There's some things that people are going through and you already dealt with it, you can help them. That's kind of how I'm seeing it, as how we all can help each other, okay? So I share this because of the fact that I haven't done a video in a while, and for the fact that it's a new understanding I've come to that I felt I really needed to share to help clarify some things between the difference between the isolation period and the waiting period that you might be having difficulties with understanding. Am I in isolation or am I in waiting? Okay? And how to go about possibly dealing with it and thinking about it in a different way to help you get through it in an easier manner, as in like with isolation. There's a reason why you can't talk. It's not that you can't talk to people, it's just that there's not really a conversation there. There's not really a connection there. Compared to being waiting, there's more of a conversation, there's more of a connection. So, but I'm also going to say, you also need to be careful once you get out of isolation who you interact with. And that's why I did one of my other videos about who to avoid. Because the fact that they can interfere with where you're going, as in, like, I don't know how to explain this. Like old friends you used to know that you used to go party with, okay? They'll come to you. You might not understand the fullness of what's going on unless God has showed you that it's Satan using them to bring you back in. So you need to be careful on who you allow back into your circle once you're out of isolation. And in your waiting period, you also, just once you're out of isolation, you need to be careful anyway. Isolation, in waiting, whatever you're doing, you need to be careful anyway. But if you're just coming out of isolation, Satan's going to use that to his advantage to get you back in, okay? So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you. If you like my videos, hit the like button. If you want to continue with me on my journey, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to donate to help me on my journey and continue to make videos, the link is in the description or on my main page for you to donate if you would like. If you can't donate, that's fine. Just hit the like button. That'll work for me too. So I'm grateful for whatever I can get in any way, form, or fashion, so to speak. So, God bless you all. I love you all. Have a good one.